going to hand it over to our specialist, Trung Duan, on this particular topic. And Trung, whenever you're ready, go ahead and you can begin presenting this product here.
Thanks, John. Hi, everyone. Hope everyone's doing well. Today, I guess I'm going to be talking about the LRO product here. First, a little explanation of the product. This product is intended for building owners that are leasing it out to commercial tenants. We can consider buildings that are partially vacant. Right now, in our unique and challenging times, we're seeing a lot more vacancies in buildings. And some carriers don't like buildings when they become a certain percentage vacant, for example, 30 to 40%. USLI, we can consider up to 99% vacant, and it would still fit under this product. We're seeing a lot of buildings that are also owner-occupied, and we can consider those. In those examples, it's buildings where they own it under maybe an individual's name or a trust, and they lease it back to themselves, their business that they're operating there. The reason why they do this is because they want to separate the legal liability from their actual business operations. And I believe there's some tax advantages there as well. We also, under this product, we can consider mixed occupancy. So, for example, you see a lot of buildings in San Francisco where you have a restaurant downstairs, and upstairs you have a couple of apartment units. We can consider those types of lessor's risks. Coverage for this product can be written on a package basis, or we offer the ability to write it on a monoline GL basis or a monoline property basis as well. John, if you could help me go through the next slide. I could go up.
All right, one moment here, Trung. World.
And that's all we have for you. Just kidding.
One moment here, everyone. Okay, Trung, there you go. Sorry about that, everyone.
Perfect. Thanks, John. These are just some pictures of example buildings that we can consider under the product. As you can see, there's shopping centers, buildings that have apartments on top, buildings that have vacancies in there. From a general liability standpoint, we write it on an ISO coverage form, the standard ISO coverage form. We also offer hire to non-owned auto if the customer needs it. We offer coverage on the primary coverage is on a 1.1 million per occurrence, 3 million aggregate, but we do offer higher limits through an excess policy. So we'll offer up to 5 million on an excess basis. From a rating standpoint, the liability is rated on the total area of the building, and the rates apply to per thousand of square footage. We do have some credits available for this product, although we don't require it. If the tenants name our insured as an additional insured on their policy, we'll apply a 10% credit to the general liability. In addition, if there's only one tenant, and our applicant or our insured requires the tenant to be responsible for the exterior pavements, curbs, and keeping such areas free from ice or snow, we'll apply another 10% credit on the general liability. From a property coverage standpoint, we offer building coverage. We offer limited BPP coverage, business personal property coverage. We offer business income coverage for loss of rent. And in addition, some of these buildings have signs out there to help the tenants with the advertising. We'll offer property coverage on those signs as well. From a property pricing standpoint and the limits, the pricing is going to be dependent on who the tenant is. For example, if the tenant is an auto repair shop, the property pricing is going to be based on an auto repair shop versus an office building. So the pricing is going to vary dependent on the occupancy. We have various property factors that are going to affect the pricing. The building's located in a wind or hail-prone area, there's going to be a debit to the rate. Also, protection class, if it's in a protection class that's higher than a 6, the pricing is going to be a little bit more. We apply credits if they use higher co-insurances or higher deductibles, or if the building's 100% sprinklered, you're going to get a significant credit as well. In addition, limits are going to be available based on the occupancy of the building. So in that example I gave you, if it's an auto repair shop, we'll go up to $3 million. And if it's an office building, we'll go up to $5 million. Some eligibilities for general liability. We can't consider tenants that are hospitals, nursing homes, assisted living facilities, elderly care facilities, or any healthcare facility with an overnight or residential exposure. We find these to be a little bit more higher hazard, and there's definitely a higher standard of care that's required of the landlord. And so we decided that that's something that we would not be interested in writing general liability for. We do require all tenants to carry general liability insurance, even though they don't name our insured as an additional insured on their policy, and that our applicant or insured has to get those certificates of insurance from all the tenants. We can consider locations up to 100,000 square feet. And if the building's over 7 stories, we do require the building to be 100% sprinklered. And within the last 5 years, no more than 1 general liability loss. And this is going to be the same guideline from a liability and a property standpoint. We do require that all units have smoke and or heat detectors in them. From a property standpoint, from a loss, for losses, we can consider up to 1 loss in the past 3 years. And as I mentioned earlier, we do require smoke and heat detectors or heat detectors in all units. You know, from an eligibility for property, we're very broad in terms of appetite and the types of occupancies that we can consider. For example, I mentioned auto repair shops. We can consider child care centers. We can consider, you know, buildings that are leased to nightclubs or bars. We'll even consider buildings that are leased out to marijuana dispensaries. So those are okay. Just to name a few. So yeah, USLI, we want to sell a little bit more than just the coverages with each policy. So every annual USLI policyholder will have access to what we call our Business Resource Center, where we provide a lot of value-added services to our insureds. You know, the things that they can actually use in their day-to-day operations. So in this example, I mean, we're talking about lessor's risk today, a building owner. But that building owner might have a side business. For example, they might have a tax preparation service or something like that. They can have access to all these services with their business as well. So they have access to human resource services. So it's a hotline they could call, unlimited and free, where they can ask for advice on hiring individuals, or let's say they're expected to let somebody go, they can call this human resources hotline and ask them, are they in their rights, or what's the correct procedures to let this individual go. In addition, we provide tenant screening services at discounted prices for this under the resources, so they can use it to do the screenings on all their commercial tenants. There's also a lot of other services there that they can use. I implore you to check out these services. It's under bizresourcecenter.com. That's bizresourcecenter.com. And with that, I'm going to turn this back over to John.
Great, thanks for that, Trung. Really interesting product, a lot of different options to utilize that for. And now what we're going to do is switch gears. We're going to hop into our instant quote platform. That includes both phone quoting and web quoting. First off here, we are going to focus on the phone quote. And really what that is for us, we want that to be for you, is the quickest way to get a quote. We believe it's the quickest way to get a quote in the industry. Simply what you would do is just call in, and that number is 844-244-1120, and you'll be instantly connected with one of USLI's 65-plus underwriters. Now, when you call in, depending on what quote you're looking for, and again, we can do over 55 products over the phone, what they'll end up doing is just asking you some simple eligibility criteria so that they can generate a firm premium for you on that risk so that you can present that to the insured. You'll also get a copy of the quote and a pre-filled application sent directly to you. So really a lot of that grunt work, a lot of that more tedious work is already done for you. Really all you have to do to get it done and bound is verified and signed by the insured. So really our goal is just to give you all the upper hand in that sales realm. As we know, oftentimes first in and turned around is what's going to get bound up. So we want to give you that advantage. And if you call into USLI on that number and we're not able to quote that for you, what we would do is transfer you back over to Union General so that they can look at any other number of the markets that they're in to see if they could find a home for your risk as well. So again, our goal is really to find you a home for that risk and to get that binding process, quoting process turned around as quickly as possible for you all. So one of the biggest benefits to this process is that when you call in, you don't have to have any sort of accord form completed to get a quote. They're going to ask you, our underwriters are going to ask you very surface level information about the risk in order to get that turned around. Oftentimes it's just 5 to 7 eligibility questions, and the whole process can take about 5 minutes, give or take a minute or so there. One of the other great benefits is that you can call in from anywhere. Now, during the pandemic, I'm sure not all of us are out and about as much as we'd like to be, but you don't have to be at home, at your home office, or in the office itself even to call in and get a quote. As long as you have that number, you can call in wherever you're at and get that quote and pre-filled application turned around quickly. So we are available during extended hours. So Pacific time, our underwriters are available 4 a.m. to 5 p.m. Mondays through Friday, and 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Saturdays as well. So again, just want to be available to you during those extended hours as well. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I want to show you all via demonstration how easy it is to get a quote over the phone. So I'm going to put you all on hold for just about a minute here. I'm going to call in to one of our underwriters, and then you'll be able to hear how easy it is to get that quote and pre-filled application turned around to you. So I'm going to put everyone on hold for 1 moment. Thank you.
Hi, this is Morgan. How may I assist you?
Hi, Morgan. This is Jonathan Chernoff with the Instant Quote Marketing Team. I'm here doing a presentation with Union General, wondering if you can help us get a trucker's GL quote.
Yeah, absolutely. We can definitely run through that phone quote so we can show how easy it is to get a quote with us over the phone. What state do we want to say that this risk is in?
This is going to be in California.
Okay. And what is the applicant hauling?
That's just going to be sand and gravel.
Sounds good. Have they had any losses or claims in the past 3 years?
They have not.
Perfect. And what's the location address they're operating from?
Yeah, it's going to be 123 Main Street, and the zip code that we're going to use is, let's see here, 90231.
Perfect. All right. And what liability limits do we need to quote for them today?
Let's do the 1 million, 2 million.
Sounds good. And how many trucks do they have?
3 trucks total.
All right. Do we need to add on the blanket additional insured that's related to their hauling operations?
Hey, what's the additional cost for that?
It's $100.
Okay, yeah, let's go ahead and get that added as well.
Great. We can also add a blanket waiver of subrogation for an additional $100. Do we want to add that on as well?
I think that's fine to leave off for now. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. And I do have a quote here for you. It is going to be on admitted paper. It's with United States Liability Insurance. We have an AM Best rating of A++. It's going to be quoted annually for the trucking operations hauling sand, dirt, and gravel. We also have the blanket additional insured included. And with liability limits at 1 mil, 2 mil, we're looking at a total annual premium of $926. And it's also eligible for up to 3 payments of direct bill.
All right, terrific. Thank you very much for your help, Morgan.
Yeah, no problem. So what we do after the quotes, we always send a copy over to the agent. That way you have it on your end to review. And everything is attached, so in case they do decide to buy, you'll have everything on your end to do that, okay?
All right, terrific. Thank you so much again.
Yeah, no problem. Have a great day.
You as well.
Thanks. Bye.
All right, everyone. So as you can see, just a very easy process. That's how quickly it can take to get a quote over the phone. Just a few questions there. Of most of our products, it's going to be that type of interaction. Our underwriters are very, very knowledgeable. So again, want to encourage you all to give that a shot. And that number again is 844-244-1120. Okay? And if you're viewing the presentation, you can see here a very handy marketing postcard that we'll be able to send out to you all at the end of this presentation. It just shows all the products that we can quote over the phone, the extended hours were available, all that good stuff. So again, we will share that with you all in our follow-up email after the presentation. Okay. So we confirm that you will be receiving a copy of the quote and a pre-filled application as part of this process after you call in. And again, that will be emailed directly to you. And Union General will also receive a copy of that. So as soon as you're ready to buy and get that sent back around, you will have to contact Union General. You cannot come to USLI directly, but they'll be ready, set and ready for you all when you're set to do that, and we're able to get that turned around for you very quickly. And here's just a friendly picture of our underwriting team for the instant quote. I sat next to this team for a number of years when I was on the underwriting side myself. I can tell you they are a very knowledgeable group, very product savvy. A lot of them have been in the industry for many years. A lot of them have been on the retail side, so they'll be able to level with you there as well. And I can tell you that they've heard it all. So if there's a risk, you're not sure where to find a fit, this is a great team to call and have that conversation with. All right, so what I'm going to do now, we talked about the phone quoting portion of the instant quote platform. And again, that number one more time, 844-244-1120. Now we're going to go over to the web quoting portion of it for everybody. And I'm going to hand it over to our web quoting specialist, Jenna Briggs, and she's going to be able to run through what that process looks like for you all.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thanks, everybody, for joining us today. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here So you should be seeing uniongeneralinsurance.com, and I'm going to run through how to get a web quote through Union General's website. They have a lot of online raters available to you. For today's demonstration, we're just going to focus on USLIs, but I do encourage you to get on here and explore the multiple raters that you do have available to you. To find USLI's rater, you just click this USLI small business section here, and you'll be sent into this landing page. It's co-branded up here with Union General and USLI. You also have that phone number available to you here if you want to call in. But web quoting is a great option for you. It is available 24/7, so if you happen to be working after that phone quoting team's hours end, or maybe even on a Sunday, or you just like to self-serve online, the online quoting option is a great one. So you'll see here all of those products that are available to you, from the commercial products to our hospitality and liquor, nonprofit package, personal lines, and professional lines. They're all available to you here. So I encourage you to explore along. There's also some great materials here to give you a little bit more of those product highlights for each product that is available. I'm just going to show you what it looks like to get a trucker's quote online, much like we just did over the phone, just to show you a similar experience for that same exposure. So you simply select the product that you're looking to quote, and you'll be prompted into the corresponding quoting script. It will ask you for login information. I already am logged in, so it remembers me. And if you don't have login information, it's really easy to just request login credentials. So you can get those sent right into your inbox if you don't already have them. But I do want to point out, once you're into one of these products, you always have this chatting option available to you. So you can always chat with our web team. That's the same group of live underwriters that is happy to assist you. It's not a bot. It's that same team of underwriters that's trained and ready to handle your web questions. So if you have questions about how to answer a question or classify something, feel free to utilize that. But if not, you'll just simply select the state, lines of coverage. If you have the information in front of you about claims or losses in the past 3 years, you can answer that here. If you don't happen to know that while you're quoting online, you can always leave those questions unknown and answer them at a later date. So it's just going to ask for our applicant's name. You can leave those questions unknown, as I said, if you're not sure how long they've been at the location. You'll always want to enter a description of operation and the address, much like those questions that we just answered over the phone. And you have your limit options here. You start at 1 million, and you can bump that down if you like. You know, for truckers, the rating will be the number of units. We'll keep it simple and just say 1. And then you're going to have some eligibility questions here. Again, you can leave those unknown if you're not sure. And you can add additional insureds should you need them, you know, manager or lessor of premises that they may lease, also mortgagee if they need a blanket additional insured related to their hauling operations, waiver of subrogation. You can also add the blanket waiver. So you can customize that quote for your applicant here on the web as well. And that's all the information you need in order to get a quote online. This is what we call our summary page. So I'm just going to show you some of the most important pieces of information here. You'll see that your quote's admitted, written through USLI. Your premium is listed here. Your limits are available here. And these are all clickable forms and endorsements. So if you're curious how any of these actually read, you can go ahead and open them up and read them on the web. These are all also clickable hyperlinks. So this is probably the most important area here. This is where you can view that full, complete, formal quote letter. This is the same professional quote letter that an underwriter at USLI would be sending to your inbox, the same thing you'd be getting after you call in for a phone quote. And these are bindable terms as long as the exposure doesn't change and the eligibility questions are answered favorably. This is a bindable quote that you just got by answering just a few questions online. You know, have your payment options here. All of the questions that we'll need confirmed prior to binding are listed here. That quote letter. I also want to show you that we include the excess options as well. So you see your excess limit options are also provided for you when you get these quotes online. And then lastly, that completed or pre-filled, application with all the questions that you've already answered pre-filled. So if you do want to send this in for binding, you send it into Union General, and then you can get this application signed and sent in within 21 days of binding. The other thing I want to show you is you can email that quote letter to yourself from here as well. So it's great just to get that quickly into your inbox. And you can also complete the quoting script. So we just answered the bare minimum information. If you wanted to go through and confirm all of the eligibility questions, the subjectivities that we'll need confirmed prior to binding, you simply click this Continue to Complete button. It'll bring you back through the questions that you've answered, but it'll also give you all of those additional questions that we just saw on our quote letter that we need confirmed prior to binding. And I just wanted to show you also what it looks like if you happen to answer a question in a way that requires further underwriter review. So for example, if their insurance has been canceled or non-renewed in the past 3 years, that is absolutely something that we can still consider at USLI. We just want to know a little bit more about the reason for cancellation or non-renewal. So you'll be presented with this screen here, and you have 3 options for that quote resolution. You can give us a call at that number that's provided. You can start chatting with that same web team that I mentioned, or you can click this third button here to submit your application electronically, and that will generate an email into one of our USLI underwriters' inbox, and they can get their eyes on your risk in that way. So if you are ever presented with the screen, please make sure you're taking one of these 3 options. We want to make sure that we're reviewing this for you, and hopefully we can flip that over to active terms and get that quote into your inbox. But that's pretty much the gist of online quoting. Like I said, I encourage you to explore these options. You've got a lot available to you. Should be pretty simple and straightforward, but if you ever do have questions, you're welcome to use that chat feature or give us a quick call. We're happy to help. And I'm going to stay online for the rest of the presentation as well, but I'm going to flip this over to John so he can wrap this up for us.
Thanks, Jenna. Very interesting stuff. A couple of really great options to get a quick quote, pre-filled application, all of that, so you can get business turned around quickly, and at the same time, saving you time to be able to pursue the things that you want to pursue, more sales, bringing in new business, all of that good stuff. So I do want to show this page as well. Do want to encourage all of you, if you have questions, we're available. Union General is available as well. They have a terrific, knowledgeable group of underwriters. They have a lot of great service promises, quotes turn around in 24 hours. When you call in, you're going to get a live person. Very easy to do business with. It's been great partnering with them on our end. I can certainly speak to their insurance knowledge and willing to help their retail, to help their agents in any way that they can. So I'll stay on the line now. That's the end of our presentation. Do want to thank everyone for joining. I want to thank Union General for partnering with us on this. You know, everyone here invested some time to hear about these options, the different quoting options, the LRO products, all the products we can quote online and over the phone. Do want to encourage you all to give that a shot. I think you'll find very quickly that we do practice what we preach. We're very confident in this platform, and I'll look forward to working with you all in the future. So thank you again very much for attending. And I'll wait on here just for about a minute, see if any questions pop up. But again, thank you all, and have a great rest of the day.